Hour 1. You feel completely fine. No pain, no burns, no signs of anything wrong. In fact, you feel so normal that you wonder if anything actually happened. That feeling is the most dangerous thing about radiation poisoning. Because right now, at this exact moment, your DNA is being shredded, your white blood cells are being destroyed, and a countdown has started inside your body that no doctor on Earth can fully stop. This is what radiation poisoning actually does to your body. Hour by hour. To understand what's happening, you need to understand what radiation actually is. When ionizing radiation passes through your body, it doesn't burn you from outside. It fires invisible particles, like tiny bullets, directly through your cells. Each particle smashes through your DNA like a wrecking ball through a glass wall. 1 millisievert of radiation does this to approximately 40 of your cells. A lethal dose, around 4 to 6 sieverts, does this to billions of your cells, simultaneously. And here's the part that makes radiation different from every other injury you've ever heard of. Your body has no way to feel it happening. No nerve endings respond. No pain signals fire. You won't smell it. You won't see it. You won't taste it. The Chernobyl firefighters who walked into Reactor 4 in 1986 described the air as tasting metallic. There was already 300 sieverts per hour hitting their faces. But they felt fine. First responder Vasily Ignatenko told his wife he just had a headache. He was dead within 2 weeks. Hour 2. Some people exposed to high doses begin to feel nausea, a warmth in the chest, a faint metallic taste. Doctors call this the prodromal phase, the warning signal. If you vomit within the first hour of exposure, that is not a good sign. It means your dose was high. Studies of atomic bomb survivors showed a direct link. The sooner you vomit, the higher the dose absorbed, and the lower the chance of survival. But then, something strange happens. Hour 4, Hour 5, Hour 6. The nausea fades, the warmth disappears. You start to feel almost normal again. This is called the latent phase, and it is, without question, the cruelest stage of radiation sickness, because your body has gone quiet. But inside, the destruction is accelerating. Your bone marrow, the factory that produces your blood cells, is being obliterated. Every hour that passes, your body is manufacturing fewer and fewer white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets. Your immune system is not just weakened. It is being systematically erased. Here's something that will change how you think about nuclear survival forever. After the Hiroshima bombing, thousands of people who survived the initial blast, people who walked away, helped others, and felt completely fine, died in the following weeks from something doctors called radiation disease. They called them the walking ghosts. People who received doses above 6 sieverts, people who looked healthy, who ate breakfast, who thought they had survived. They were already dead. Their bodies simply hadn't received the message yet. Scientists still study this phenomenon today because it tells us something disturbing about the human body. It is entirely possible to be fatally poisoned and feel nothing. Day 2. The latent phase ends, and now the real damage becomes visible. Your hair follicles, which divide rapidly like bone marrow cells, begin to fail. Your hair starts falling out in clumps, not slowly, in handfuls. Your gums begin to bleed. Small sores appear in your mouth, your throat, your digestive tract, because the cells lining these surfaces are also rapid dividers, and they've been destroyed. Eating becomes agonizing. Swallowing feels like glass. Day 3. Your platelet count, which controls blood clotting, crashes. Small cuts that would normally heal in minutes now bleed for hours. Internal bleeding begins with no external cause. Your white blood cell count reaches critical levels. Any bacteria or virus that enters your body now faces zero resistance. A common cold could kill you. Day 5 to day 7. For doses above 6 sieverts, what scientists call the lethal zone, no amount of medical treatment can reverse what's happening. At Chernobyl, first responders were flown to the best radiation hospitals in Moscow. They received bone marrow transplants, experimental treatments, 24-hour care. Most of them died within 3 weeks, not because medicine failed, but because at a certain dose, the damage to the human body is simply irreversible. But here's what most people don't know. Not all radiation exposure is fatal. In fact, you are exposed to low levels of radiation every single day. Flying in an airplane exposes you to 0.003 millisieverts per hour. A chest X-ray gives you 0.1 millisieverts. Living in a granite building, like the U.S. Capitol, exposes you to slightly elevated natural radiation continuously. The human body is extraordinarily good at repairing low-level radiation damage. We evolved alongside background radiation for millions of years. It is only when the dose overwhelms the repair system, when billions of DNA breaks happen faster than cells can fix them, that the catastrophic cascade begins. This is why the difference between 1 sievert and 6 sieverts is not just a number. It is the difference between surviving and becoming a walking ghost. If you received a dose between 2 and 4 sieverts, what doctors call the treatable zone, your chances of survival with immediate medical intervention are around 50 to 70%. Treatment involves one goal above all others: keep you alive long enough for your bone marrow to recover. This means isolation rooms, sterile environments, antibiotics for infections your body can no longer fight, blood transfusions, in some cases, bone marrow transplants. The recovery, if it happens, takes months. Survivors describe fatigue so deep that lifting an arm feels like lifting a boulder. Cognitive fog that lasts for years, an immune system that never quite returns to normal, and a statistical shadow that follows them forever. Elevated lifetime risk of leukemia, thyroid cancer, and other radiation-linked diseases. For Hiroshima survivors, researchers are still tracking these health effects 80 years later. Hisako Yamamoto, a Hiroshima survivor who was 16 years old at the time of the bombing, lived to age 89. In her memoir, she described the years after the bomb not as survival, but as being given back time that didn't belong to her. Radiation poisoning is unlike almost any other threat the human body faces. It leaves no immediate mark. It triggers no alarm. It allows you, in its cruelest trick, to feel completely fine, while quietly dismantling everything that keeps you alive. And what the science of radiation teaches us about the human body is both terrifying and extraordinary. We are incredibly fragile at the cellular level, and yet, within certain limits, we are capable of repairing damage that would have been called miraculous just 100 years ago. The walking ghosts of Hiroshima could not be saved, but every year, research into radiation medicine saves thousands of cancer patients, teaches us more about how DNA repairs itself, and brings us closer to understanding the most fundamental machinery of human life. The bomb that tried to destroy a city is now helping us understand how to save one person at a time. If this made you think differently about something you thought you already understood, that is exactly what this channel is here for. Subscribe, because next week we go somewhere even darker.